Don't try to physically escalate in front of her friends. Her slut-shaming alarm will go off and she'll shut down. Privacy is needed to give her plausible deniability. This can be with social circle game. This can be where you meet a girl at a club. This can be where you meet a girl out. But physically escalating, there are exceptions. You know, you're talking like certain, like spring break, very, very late at night. Certain times lend themselves to physical escalation where our friends are nearby. But generally, you need to understand that women and girls want their sex lives to be as opaque to their friends and to other men as humanly possible. Like it's just a black screen. Nobody can see through it. That's why we're always saying, like, when girls go on travel, they love the anonymity. They love big cities. They love apps. Anything that can give I call it the girls do porn effect, which is these girls were told that their videos that they would shoot and they'd be paid for would never go outside of like this private collector's collection. So they said, okay, I can do that if it's going to remain, private and anonymous. But of course, as soon as they shot the video, it was distributed widely on the internet. And so they were no longer anonymous. They sued the guys and there were criminal charges. So, but what's important in that is that when they could remain anonymous, they were like, okay with it. And if they had remained anonymous, they probably would have never brought it up ever again. But anonymity for women to be able to hide their sex lives is extremely important. And when you can facilitate that, you're going to have more sex with more women. It's like we always say, playboys have to be discreet. Players have to be discreet. If girls know you'll keep their secrets, they'll tell you more secrets. So don't try to physically escalate in front of her friends. Just don't do it. Just set up a meetup for another time. Move her. So, hey, you want to get out of here? Her slut-shaming alarm will go off and she will shut down. And again, if she's like in front of her friends, she may shut down. She may shut down permanently. So you want to at least leave the opening for the future. And that's when you say, hey, I got to get out of here, but why don't we meet up tomorrow? Tomorrow evening, you come over, have drinks. Privacy is needed to give her plausible deniability. Again, what is plausible deniability? For a girl, all sex has to just happen. She cannot have a hand in it whatsoever. She can't have any input, any action, any thought, anything that makes it happen. It all has to be your idea. That way she can say, I didn't mean to have sex. It just happened. And this is why we say, like, if you're following my dating system and you're at your last location or things are going your way, you've got momentum, you can say, hey, I own a midget. Why don't you come on up to my apartment and you can meet my midget? Or you can meet my chimpanzee, or you can see my art collection, or you can see my guitar collection. My art collection, it doesn't matter. What she has to have is a plausible reason for her to be there, where you move her to a private area where sex can happen, which is what a date's about. So she needs plausible deniability. Your job is to provide that for her, for a reason for her to be in a private area that has nothing to do with sex, but then the sex just happened. And when you grab this, guys get all bent out of shape, believe it or not, these are basics. This is like tie your fucking shoes or, wear pants when you're outdoors. You need to give girls plausible deniability, especially if you haven't had sex with them before, to give them a reason so they can tell their friends. They got to explain to her girlfriends how this happened. So she has to have a story that will explain why she was in your apartment, why she was parked at a park in your car, why y'all were in a public bathroom together. It just happened. So that's what you need to provide in order to make things happen that you want to happen and she wants to happen. But again, privacy is needed to give her plausible deniability. And you need to provide that. And it's any reason whatsoever, non-sexual, to get her into a private area where sex can happen. And that's extremely important. It's a foundational tenet in game. So you need to use it. The sooner you can have a couple of lines that you can throw out there. And again, it doesn't even matter. You don't have to own a guitar. You don't have to own a monkey. You don't have to have a midget, because once you get to the apartment or your house, none of that matters. So you can just roll with it. But that's the real deal. Do not try to physically escalate in front of her friends or in a social circle. Social circle game is even more important. Like, if you get the vibe off of a friend within your circle, you need to not try to physically escalate anywhere near mutual friends. You need to at least make a pitch to meet up with you at another time or somewhere else. That way you can actually focus in, and she can focus in on you and not worry about what other people are thinking, because that's a huge, huge deal with women, is their social standing, which is understandable. So don't try to physically escalate in front of her friends. Her slut-shaming alarm will go off and she'll shut down. And sometimes once she shuts down that escalation window, it shuts and then it doesn't open again, because you're a guy that doesn't get it. Privacy is needed to give her plausible deniability. That's a real deal. So I have a